Can you remember the last time that you didn't make a decision about something? I'm not talking a really big decision, I am talking a small, everyday decision. For example, you're sitting there scrolling through Instagram and you know that you also have an essay to write. Instead of deciding to take the rest of the afternoon off and chill, get some mental health time, or deciding to start studying, get your essay written, you just don't decide. It hits 6 p.m, you pretty much spent all the time just chilling on your phone, but you didn't get to enjoy it because you didn't make the decision to have a slug afternoon. Or you wake up in the morning and instead of making a decision about whether you want to work out, do some gratitude journaling, tick off all the to-dos, or just have an easy morning and sip your coffee slowly, you just slide through the morning instead. You take an extra long time drinking your coffee while you scroll through Instagram, and then whoops, look at the time. There is no time to work out. You get frustrated with yourself and the cycle continues. In the meantime, you didn't enjoy savoring your coffee because you didn't make the decision to savor your coffee. You felt guilty about not working out the entire time. Then there are the times where you have to make bigger decisions, but you just find yourself defaulting to the easiest option. Someone says something blatantly racist in front of you, and instead of calling them out, you just let it slide because that's the easier alternative. Instead of confronting your colleague about undermining you in the weekly meeting, you just bitch to your colleagues about it because that's the easier way of handling it. Instead of saying no to hanging out with that person who literally sucks away all of your energy, you say yes because it's easy. The quote that I always go back to is, hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life. Talking to your colleague about that behavior is gross. It's confronting. It feels scary. But it will mean that every week after your weekly meetings, you won't be in this mad rage. Hard choice, easier life. Calling out someone who says something racist is confronting. It might result in a loss of friendship, but you won't feel repulsed by yourself because you remain silent. Your integrity will remain intact, and if you are incredibly lucky, that person might think twice the next time they decide to chuck out a racist comment. Hard choice, easier life for everyone. Saying no to hanging out with someone always feels really hard, but you'll be saving more energy for yourself. You'll have more energy to give to the people that you love. You won't be filled with a sense of constant bitterness. Once again, hard choice, easier life. Forcing yourself to make a decision rather than just sliding by will let you enjoy your life more because you're doing things with intention. You're not just letting your life happen to you, you are creating your life. If you intentionally make the decision to enjoy your morning and savor the coffee and take it slow rather than working out and going hard, you will inevitably enjoy it more because you decided to do it. Choosing the hard decision over the easy decision will result in things like discomfort, confrontation, and disappointing people. But you will feel a whole lot better about who you are as a person, and you will know that you're living in line with your own values and your own morals. There are 3 things that I've been focusing on to make more decisions in my life and to make better decisions in my life. And the first thing is forcing yourself to make decisions. Instead of just sliding forward in your days, put yourself at a standstill. You can't move forward until you force yourself to make a decision about what you want to do. Your decision might be to move forward, get that project finished, and close out your week. Or it might be to spend the afternoon just going through your emails, clearing things out, doing something a little bit mindless. No matter what you end up choosing, you're going to feel better about it because you chose to do it. You might decide that you're not at your best right now, and easy work is the way to go, and that's a fine decision. But do that without guilt by deciding to do it. Push yourself into deciding rather than letting yourself slide through your days. The second way to make better decisions in your day-to-day is to predetermine your decisions. Sometimes we pick the easy choices not because we're bad people, not because we don't live our lives intentionally, but because we only have a very short amount of time to make a decision, and sometimes we're caught off guard. For example, you're speaking to someone, they say something offensive, you're caught off guard, you're shocked, and the conversation moves on before you even get a chance to say something. But in the end, even though you were caught off guard, you feel guilty because you know that you did not just live up to your values. Predetermine those decisions that often come up in the spur of the moment. I try to do this when it comes to gossip or sexist or offensive comments. If someone says something like, she has her boobs out in her photos all the time, clearly she needs a lot of attention, you reply with something like, I mean, if I had those boobs, I also would do that. If someone makes a racist comment, you say, I don't think I buy into that stereotype. If someone says, she's so weird, you say, I wish I had the confidence to own my personality like that. Having default decisions on what to say when those spur of the the moment things happen within conversations is really helpful. By staying silent, agreeing, head nodding, laughing, you're teaching people what they can say to you and what they can't say to you. In Australian culture, I know it's very difficult to be that person. It's a get along with everyone, don't rock the boat culture. But by having little ways of diverting the conversation, little defaults that you can go back to that make sure that you're still adhering to your morals, you're making it clear what you stand for and what you don't stand for, it can be very helpful. And default decisions don't just help in times like that. They can also help in times where you're asked to hang out by that energy vampire. And your default decision is, oh, I'll have to check my calendar. Or, let me get back to you. When it comes to your default decisions, be conscious of when you're in more triggering situations and remind yourself of those default decisions. For example, if you know there's a person in the office that always back talks, that's when you should be hyper conscious when you're talking to them. That way you're not defaulting to the easy decision and you're not letting things slide. The third thing to focus on is the mantra, courage over comfort. This is a mantra that I constantly go back to when I'm making harder decisions. It's straight from the mouth of badass babe Brené Brown. If you're trying to figure out how to handle someone talking down to you in a meeting, how can you choose courage over comfort? If you're trying to decide whether to put yourself out there into a new networking situation that's a little uncomfortable versus staying at home and watching the same Netflix show, how can you choose courage over comfort? You may not always choose courage over comfort, and that's okay. Choosing courage all the time would be exhausting. But if you can repeat that mantra over and over again and embed it in your brain, it will encourage you to make more courageous decisions. If you liked this video, you might like my video on discipline doesn't work. Here is something that does. I talk all about a concept that's really helped me when it comes to behavior change, building new, healthier habits. I'm gonna have that video linked on the screen and down below. It's definitely one of my favorite videos that I've done recently. I appreciate you so very much, and I will see you soon.